Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. This is JB.
And I'm Chandler, and this is the Unbiased Hard Take. And on today's Unbiased Hard Take, me and JB, we got an all basketball podcast for you guys. And by all basketball, I mean all NBA, JB. The NBA playoffs have started, play in, playoff. It's all, to me, it's all the same thing. So, I mean, you have 10 teams have been eliminated, play in / playoffs have started. So, with that, JB, before we get into all that, we have a major announcement me and JB do. Our major announcement is this. We said big things were coming to this podcast. We did not lie, my friends, because we have had, as you guys can see here, shirts made, as you guys can check by our Facebook page. The link is in the description down below to our Facebook page. We had shirts made. So we have them in white. We also have them
In black.
in black. Me and JB both repping one of each. And we also had card decals made for the Unbiased Hard Take. So, if anyone's interested in anything like that, let us know. We're not selling merchandise like that, but this could be a start to something here. We said big things were coming. So, limited supply. However, if you're interested, let us know. That's something you guys would be interested in. So, with that, JB, we're wrapping this gear from now on. It's very awesome gear. I want to say that. So, appreciate you to Brittany who made it. Don't want to say two full names because privacy reasons, but just thank you. Outstanding quality. With that, JB, let's get this out of the way. Because the Miami Heat, JB, we're just going to start there. We're going to talk play-in, the two games that have happened. That's what me and you are going to talk about, the games that have happened. So, JB, we'll start with Miami. Miami was up at halftime, up late into the game, and they lost 104 to 105. However, I can get over that. Jimmy Butler, JB, also has been ruled out with an MCL injury for multiple weeks. He did finish the game. JB, let's start there. Philadelphia, Miami. What's your thoughts on that game, my friend?
I mean, it is a very tough loss. Do give it that. I mean, in the first half, we were up by 12. And we should have just kept the ball rolling. But, I mean, can't really do anything when Jimmy Butler was hurt and really didn't have. I feel like we really didn't have that much really help. I mean, Tyler Hero, he went 9 for 27, 4 for 14. I mean, with only 25 points. I mean, he shot the ball horrible. But I mean, it is the NBA. I mean, people can shoot horrible. I mean, look at James Harden for a great example. For when people shoot a lot and have like 45 points, and I mean, they'd be like, "Oh my God, he had 45 points." Yeah, but look what he did though. I mean, he shot horrible. But I mean, with all that being aside, I mean, he was probably our main scorer right there with 25 points. Jimmy Butler right behind him with 19 points. And then right behind Jimmy is Jamie Jasquez Jr., our rookie. He had 15. And then Kevin Love with 10, and same with Bam Adebayo. And then Highsmith with 9. Dylan White at 6. And Caleb Martin 5, and Nikola Jovic with 5. And if people did not play, 2 people that are not with the team that day is Josh Richardson and Terry Rozier. Probably Terry Rozier was one of the main people that we really need, but he was not with the team that day. And Duncan Robinson and Orlando Robinson, Patty Mills, and Thomas Bryant also did not play for coach's decision. And yeah, but the one person that literally saved is the Philadelphia 76ers is not Joel Embiid. It wasn't Tyrese Maxey. It was Nicholas Batum. That was his game. He came out, and at the second half, he literally just lit up and had like great defense. I mean, he blocked Tyler Hero's shot for crying out loud to put us up in the lead, but Nicholas Batum blocked it and showed up and with everything else. But yeah, that was Nicholas Batum's game that day. I mean, really can't really say anything about that. I mean, apparently he wanted more than what Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey did. Because I mean, look how the whole entire team played in the first half, for crying out loud. So, and then Nicholas Batum randomly showed up and pulled out 20 points. So
I was getting ready to say, yeah, his defense on Tyler Hero was outstanding. I knew you were going there with that. But I mean, 20 points. Also, he had a good scoring presence that game, and this is for a player who's averaging 2.7 points on the season.
Yep. And he only played 27 minutes that whole game. And he scored 20 points.
Yeah, he's averaged 2.7 points with the Clippers, 5.5 points with the Sixers this season, playing for both teams. But yeah, he absolutely. I mean, those veteran players though, they know how to get it done in the playoffs. That's the thing. Nicholas Batum's a veteran in the league. He's been around a long time.
Yep.
But we were in the same position last year, so losing this game to me is not a massive as of a deal. We lost the first play-in game last year and played the Bulls, which we'll get into that later because we literally are in the same situation we were last year, and we made it all the way to the finals. So that one more preliminary play-in playoff game to play in. So I'm not so freaked out about that. It's the Jimmy Butler injury. He has now officially been ruled out by the Miami Heat for this play-in game and is expected to miss several weeks. So we'll get into the predictions moving forward, but I do want to give a shout out to Jimmy Butler to have an MCL injury like that in the first beginning of the game, and to go out there and still play 40 minutes and have 19 points. I know after that he wasn't really himself, and he said, quote, after the game that, quote, he felt he hurt the team sometimes a little more than he helped. But the desire and drive and willingness to win and put it on the line for your team, go out there injured like that, you deserve a lot of respect. So to Jimmy Butler on that, 100%. Now Philadelphia, 100% props to Philadelphia because JB, they played outstanding basketball. Joel Embiid,
especially in the second half. Especially in the second half.
Yes, 23 points, 15 rebounds for Embiid, Maxey 19 points. I mean, they're a playoff team. Embiid got hurt. Maxey, like we've talked about in the podcast before, he kept them afloat. Truly, hopefully, here's how it works out. Obviously, Philadelphia's clinched in. They play New York. Hopefully, Miami wins against Chicago tomorrow. We'll get to that in a little bit. Because truly, that's the best teams in the East. Of course, we're without Jimmy Butler, so we'll see. We'll get into that, like I said, in a bit. So I hope it is those 8 teams because Chicago, they have a losing record. Not a fan of that. I don't know. That's just me. But Miami, JB, they blew the lead. They blew it.
12-point
They blew the lead again. 12-point lead. Double-digit lead. I know 12 points isn't what it used to be because of 3-point shooting. It's still a 12-point lead on a veteran team. Jimmy Butler was out there. Bam Adebayo, 10 points, 12 boards. A double-double, but you're arguably, some could say, you're our best player, Bam. Come on. Jimmy's out there. Someone needs to step up. That's your job to step up. I know you're not an offensive presence, but in crucial moments, you got to step up. Tyler Hero, 25 points. He's always injured at some point. I mean, he shot horrible from the field. So, Jaquez, 15 points, but you can't rely on a rookie. Kevin Love's washed up, 10 points. JB.
More than I thought he would, honestly.
Terry Rozier, we'll see his status. I'm not sure, but he didn't play. JB, I don't like it. Caleb Martin, only 5 points. I don't like it. I don't like what I see. That's all I'll say. I'll predict the Chicago game here in a minute, but I don't like what I see.
Yep, I don't either. I mean, with the stats and everything, where the points where Chicago and Atlanta, and I'm just looking at the box score, and I don't know. It's really concerning that we don't have one of the best defensive players, Jimmy Butler. Just won't be there, but it's scary right now. Um, and we this is where we kind of needed him the most, and he won't be there because he is injured. So yeah, it's a very scary situation for the Miami Heat, for our Miami Heat right now. It's very scary. Honestly, I do not think that Tyler Hero won't do it. I don't think so. I mean, it's going to be a real struggle. Let's just say that. And hopefully Terry Rozier shows up, because we don't know what his status is. We don't know why he was with the team. Um,
He's injured.
oh, okay, so yeah, he's injured. No shocker there. Um, but yeah, points where we needed him. I mean, it's
CBS reports Terry Rozier neck injury has been ruled out for Friday's play-in game against the Bulls. Rozier will miss a 6th straight contest. Has been diagnosed with a neck sprain. Neck spasm, so seems the injury is more severe than initially expected. It will translate in a higher usage of Tyler Hero. Naturally, obviously.
so yeah. I don't think we're not going to beat the Bulls. I don't think it. I don't think we will.
JB, I'm not going to say my take yet. I'm going to save that. Me and JB are going to come back to the Miami Heat. Speaking of the Bulls, JB, why? The Bulls, JB, they eliminated the Hawks.
Yep.
And they eliminated the Hawks big time, JB. 131 to 116, behind 42 points from Caleb White. JB, what's your thoughts on the Bulls eliminating the Hawks? And the Hawks had Trae Young. I mean, they were a healthy Hawks team. So JB, what's your thoughts?
Well, I could say this: the Hawks suck. Even with Trae Young. Trae Young is not an all-star player. I'll say that. He is not an all-star player. If he's on a really, really good team, he'll be the second or third best person, depending on the team. He will be the second or third person on that team, best person on that team, maybe even fourth. Because I mean, he's not good. He's really not that good. But with that being aside, Chicago, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in double digits, 2 people in the 20s, and 1 person in the 40s. Kobe White with 42, DeMar DeRozan with 22, Nikola Jovovic is at 24, and Javonte Green with 10, and Ayo Dosunmu with 19. But yeah, they had 5 people in double digits. That's what scares me. 1 person on the bench, and then your only person that only had 6 points, which was he got injured in the beginning, or I'm going to say probably the beginning of the second quarter, was Alex Caruso with 6. And honestly, if they had Caruso, he probably would be in the double digits as well. So yeah, with that being said, so yeah, with all those players, because I think Alex Caruso is probably going to be, he's out for the Heat game, I do believe. Yep, has returned to Wednesday's play-in tournament against the Hawks. So he is questionable on Friday, but he is likely to be a game time decision. So we'll be monitoring on that when that time comes. But that's why I'm scared of. If all 5 of their starters show up and play, we don't have a chance. I mean, honestly, who's gonna guard DeMar DeRozan? Our rookie? Bam. He hasn't had to worry about Nikola Jovic. Has to worry about him. Like, what other power forward do we have that can actually guard DeMar DeRozan other than Jimmy Butler? Nikola Jovic? No. He last game he didn't even have a steal or a block. I'm gonna see who else. Who else do you think? Caleb Martin, maybe?
I mean, I was thinking Caleb Martin, maybe, yeah.
Haywood Highsmith?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I even said Jamie Jazzquez. I mean, at least he had a steal. But I mean, and then with DeMar DeRozan guarding him, what's gonna happen to him? Like seriously, he's probably not going to get 5 points if DeMar DeRozan guards anybody at this point, because Tyler Hero probably has to guard Kobe White. We're done for there. Honestly, it's just I just feel like it's just going to be. We have one score on the team right now, and that's Tyler Hero, and he shot horrible. So you tell me.
You know, I'll get in the Miami Heat game in a bit. I'm not going to go with that yet, but I'll get back to that. JB, the Bulls, I'm going to start there because this is the Bulls-Hawks game. You got a lot of opposite takes as me today, and I'm going to get into one in a bit. It's more appropriate for the Heat and Bulls prediction. But JB1 is Trae Young. JB thinks Trae Young's not an all-star.
He's not.
I totally disagree. I don't think he's a tier 1 star. I don't think he's going to lead you to a championship. I don't. So I think he can be the second best player on the team and be kind of like Robin and be like a reserve all-star. That's what he is. He's not going to be a starter on the all-star team. He's more of an all-star reserve, which is what he is. The Hawks are always around 500 or better. Last season, 41-41. The season before that, 43-39. The only reason they were 36-46 this year, because he got hurt. So they're at least always... The Hawks are the very definition, JB, of mid. They are. They've always been that way. With Josh... You remember, even with Josh Smith. That's the name I've talked about in a long time. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Even back in those Hawks days. The Hawks have always been just sort of mid. That's what they are.
He's mid, too. Trae Young's mid.
He's an... You take Trae Young away, we see what they are. They're not a very good team.
Honestly,
JB still had a double...
I can name a lot better point guards than what Trae Young is right now.
But JB, he had 22 points and 10 assists against Chicago, and he averages 25 points and 10.8 assists. He's averaged a double-double in points and assists the last 2 seasons, JB. He's averaged a double-double the last 2 seasons.
That's easy now.
And they still made the playoffs this season. The play-in. It's the playoff. It's the preliminary stage of the playoff. That's what it is. They still made it.
I mean,
that far at least.
With the last 5 games that they played, they all lost. Because I'm looking at Trae Young's stats right now. Game against Chicago, he had 22 points. He went 4 for 12 on the field. Game against Indiana, he had 12 points. 4 for 9 on the field. 1 for 4 at threes. I mean, the only thing that he's really going for right now is his assists. But and when he played Minnesota, he lost. He had 19 points, 6 for 12. Against Charlotte, they lost. He had 14 points. He went 5 for 5, 2 for 2. And then against Toronto, they lost. He had 11 points, 4 for 13, 2 for 6. At 3 of those 5 games he had, he had double. So you're telling me with some of those games that could have possibly won with
No,
him in it,
and that's what I'm saying.
with
No,
him,
I don't.
with Trae Young in there against the Charlotte Hornets, where they lost by 1. What did Trae Young do? He went, yeah, he did go perfect. He went perfect on the field. He went 5 for 5, 2 for 2, and 11 assists. But honestly, if he was an all-star, he would at least get them to the win. And what did he not do?
And you're right, and I agree. I don't think he's going to take you to the championship. But is he going to take you to the play-in and playoffs at least every season? Absolutely, JB. He is absolutely good enough to keep you at least relevant. The Hawks have been relevant. They've been the play-in playoffs for a long time. So they're not like the Wizards, or you know what I mean, who haven't been good in forever. When was the last time the Wizards were relevant, JB? You know what I mean? That type of deal. So it's not like they're one of those teams. They're not. They're always at least in there. He's a co-star is what he is. He can get you to the playoffs, kind of like Chris Bosh. That reminds me of a Chris Bosh level of star. Chris
Honestly,
Bosh isn't going to take the Miami Heat to a championship. Now, as a second or third best player, yes.
I'll say this. His
And
rookie
you wouldn't
year,
argue that.
21,
Yeah.
his 2021, 2022 year, probably his best year.
His
2021, 22.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could absolutely argue that.
Well, not his. It wasn't his rookie year. Never mind. I don't know what the fuck I
No,
was
it's
doing.
his rookie. No,
He was
his
at
rookie
20.
year is 2018.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
2018.
talking his
I was.
best. If you're talking his best year, 2021, it probably is his best year. Yeah, because he averaged 28.4 a game and 9.7 assists.
Yeah,
He's near a double-double.
I was looking at the play-in tournament. That's probably what I was doing. So, I mean, because he had 31 points, like with ease. I mean, if he would have kept his that up, then yes, I'll probably say yes, he is an all-star. But year after year, he's been down. The year after,
He's out.
22-23, he had 25 points. 31 points to 25. And then this year,
Yeah.
he had 22 points. And that's just a play-in.
Maybe the man averages a double-double.
Still. I don't know. I'm just saying I feel like he's not an all-star in my book. Never will be.
Dang. See, I don't think he's a top-level all-star either. I don't. I do think though there is a place for him in the all-star game most years. Most years. Now, with that, the Bulls, JB, they're playing. I'm in my take on them. They're playing outstanding basketball, JB. Over 100 points, 130 points on the scored on Trae Young's Hawks, where you had over 40 points. He dropped a 40 burger. And it's not just him. Vukovic averages 24 points a game. I'm looking, JB. Kobe White isn't a one-game wonder. He averages 19.1 points a game, 5.1 assists. He's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan's always been a good player. He's still a good player, 22 points. You have Vukovic, who, remember, he played for the Magic for years, was on all those really bad Magic teams. He's still playing good basketball, a double-double. They're a sneaky good team, JB. I'm worried about them. But
Yep. I'm worried about them too. And then Andre Drummond to be on top of it. I mean, it's I don't know. It's just going to be a
really hard game.
it is going to be a very hard game, and I kind of see it being the way that they played against the Hawks.
Me and JB will get there. With that, though, me and JB will move out west. JB, moving out west. Oh, JB. The Lakers have officially made the playoffs, JB. The Lakers will play the Nuggets moving forward because they defeated the Pelicans 110 to 106. JB, what's your thoughts on LeBron? Oldest player in the league, JB. In the playoffs again, him and Anthony Davis. What's your thoughts on the Lakers in the playoffs?
I
Defeating
mean,
the Pelicans.
I mean, am I surprised? No. I mean, he's still playing 40 minutes almost. This game, he had played 40 minutes. For being the oldest player, he still had 40 minutes with 23 points, even though he shot horrible. He went 6 for 20 on the field. But Anthony Davis also kind of shot horrible. He went 6 for 16. I feel like the whole entire team shot horrible. Not gonna lie here. But all their starters went in double digits. Rui Hachimura, he had 13, LeBron 23, Anthony Davis 20, Austin Reeves 16, and D'Angelo Russell with 21. Bench players really never did anything. Spencer Dinwiddie only played like 5 minutes. He went over 3. Trey Price only had 6 points. Jackson Hines, he played for 7 minutes and he actually made his shot 2 points. And our old boy, Gabe Vincent. Miss you, buddy. Almost had 18 minutes. He went 3 for 6, 2 for 4 on that 3. He had 9 points with 1 steal, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. But the person that I was shocked had to leave that probably screwed up the Pelicans in that game was Zion Williamson. He left a little late in the fourth quarter where they needed him the most. And that's where the Pelicans shot on their foot because he got injured. Because he had 40 points. 40 points. He went
And 11 rebounds. Double.
and
Double
11
double.
and 11 rebounds. He went 17 for 27. He went 0 for 1 at 3. 1 block and 1 steal. But yeah, 40 points. And Brandon Ingram with 11. Jonas Valanciunas, 4 points.
Valanciunas, remember? Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, thank you. Herbert Jones with 10. CJ McCollum with 9. Trey Murphy the third with 12 points. Larry Nance Jr. with 10. Oh, excuse me. And Jose Alvarado with 10 points. I mean, with Zion being gone and being gone for a couple of weeks, I feel like the Kings are, yeah. But we'll get into that game a little bit later. But LeBron is in the playoffs again against the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. I'm gonna hold my take on that game when we get to it. It may not be today. Might be next week. Who knows? But yeah, the oldest player in the league getting 23 points. Congratulations, Miami Heat legend. Some people say that he's should have been stayed for a little bit longer than where he was at before, and which I kind of agree, but I feel like we pushed him out because he was being too much of a drama queen, and look where he's at still. So, but he's doing his thing. Can't complain. But yeah,
And Miami Heat legend. And JB, this podcast is estimated, as you guys can see here, 2023. So me and JB have been watching sports and Miami Heat fans long before that. So a long time ago, my take, I would have denied LeBron being a Miami Heat legend. The older I get, the more I realize that he really is a Miami Heat legend. Now, is he the best Miami Heat player? Not even close. Dwayne Wade is. I would say Alonzo
yeah.
Mourning actually is more meaningful to the Miami Heat. I would actually say Chris Bosh. You could actually argue is because he actually stayed and with us longer. But LeBron does deserve to have his number retired in Miami's rafters. I'm not denying that any longer. He's an outstanding player. He's Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. So now he's not the GOAT. That's Michael Jordan. Obviously, that's a common sense answer. But in the playoffs again, most player in the league. He brought many great years to our Miami Heat alongside Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. So nothing but respect for that. But with that, JB, they lost a close game. 4 points, 110 to 106. And I actually have some stats here that say, JB, the Pelicans shot better from the field, 46.2%, 41.7% for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
JB, the Pelicans won the rebounding battle, 50 to 41. They won the assists, 30 to 24. JB, they played a good game. They played better in many areas, and a lot would say they deserved to win the game. What's the thing? Zion got hurt in the final minutes. They lost
Yep.
by 4, JB. And now he's
Which
also
they
been
were
ruled
up.
out.
I feel like they were up by, I think, 2 in the game before he got. I think.
I don't recall. I watched the game live, and I remember him leaving. They showed him in the tunnel. I don't recall, but he left early in the game, and he's been ruled out for the next playing game against the Kings. So he's their best player. Obviously, he's an all-star level type of player as well, borderline. 40 points, 11 rebounds, JB. He had an outstanding performance. What it really is Brandon Ingram, 11 points. CJ McCollum, 9 points. Your other two best players combined for 20 points combined. No wonder you lost by 4. You're lucky you only lost by 4. I know LeBron's old. I know AD's getting a little older too. My God, you need more from your co-stars, your other two best players. You need more than that. I don't blame this loss on Zion. He's always been kind of injury prone. Even in college, he was. That's not new. That's what he is. But he showed up. He really did. Brandon Ingram, TJ McCollum need to get it together if they have any chance, obviously, because Zion's out. So we'll see about the Pelicans. I'll hold my take on that.
Okay, so they were tied. They were tied at 95-95. And
It was such a back and forth game. I don't recall.
at the end of the last, mostly about last 3 minutes of the game, they were back and forth, and then it's just miss, and then Lakers just rallied their way.
That's what veteran teams who have championship pedigree do. AD's a champion. The COVID year, LeBron's multi-time champion. That's what champions do.
Yep.
With that, JB, one more playing game to talk about. And speaking of missing shots and missing a lot of things, JB, the Golden State Warriors, my friend, made the play-in. However, they did not last long. They were eliminated quickly, 118 to 94. JB, Klay Thompson had one of the worst games. Some would say arguably the worst game of his career. JB, what's your thoughts on the Kings advancing and defeating their state rival, the Golden State Warriors?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think this is the last year for the big three, Curry, Thompson, and Green. Um, yeah, with the game that they had, I mean, it was horrible, horrible performance for everyone on the Golden State Warriors side. They shot 33 for 80 for as a team, 41.2%, and at three, 10 for 32, 31.3%. With Klay Thompson, he went 0 for 10 at the field, 0 for 6, only 1 assist and 4 rebounds. I mean, and Klay Thompson really didn't shoot that well either. He went 8 for 16 on the field, 3 for 7 at 3. And he didn't even have it. He didn't even get a double double. I mean, he had 4
Who?
rebounds. Or Steph Curry.
Okay, because Klay Thompson didn't score a single point.
No, like Steph Curry, he went 8 for 16, 3 for 7,
Yeah,
4
okay.
rebounds, 2 assists and 2 assists. Yeah, 2 assists and 2 steals and 1 block. And probably where they all got hurt the most was 16 turnovers. 6 of them from Curry. I mean, and then the Kings had only 8. That's good basketball if you only have single digit turnovers. So, but yeah, 16 turnovers. That's horrible. That is horrible. But
And JB, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna talk mainly about the Kings here, because our next topic will resolve around the Warriors a lot. And the Warriors, they got destroyed, JB.
mm-hmm.
The Kings, man, Murray, 32 points. I mean, 4 or 5. 5 players scored double figures for you.
All
24
starters.
points from your best player.
All 5
Right, all
starters.
starters. And Sabonis had a double-double with 12 boards as well. Lost 24 points. Ellis with 15 points. And it's all without Malik Monk. So the Kings are a very underrated team. In my opinion, it's just good to see the Kings relevant. They made the playoffs last year. They're in the final playing game here to get in the playoffs now. That passed the preliminary playoffs play-in. So it's exciting truly to see a Kings team that truly hadn't seen playoffs at all since 2006,
Mm-hmm.
prior to last season. So it's good to see them kind of relevant the last couple of years. Winning record this season. Kings fans in our lifetime haven't had a lot to celebrate, JB. Have you ever actually met one?
Nope.
No, exactly my point. You see them on the internet and stuff. Obviously, people exist out there, but you never meet a Kings fan. There's a reason for that, especially since we're out in the Midwest. So good to see them kind of relevant. But yeah, not good for the Warriors, JB.
Mm-mm. But no. But yeah, with everything else, I think it's time for a rebuild for the Warriors.
Speaking of that, JB, we're gonna get to our casual talk. Do you want to introduce the casual talk?
What is the casual talk?
The Warriors dynasty, JB. Do you think this is the last time that this is the end of the Warriors dynasty? Do you think they'll play together again?
No.
Klay Thompson has pending free agency coming. He's not under contract, JB. You think
Nope.
this is it?
This is it. This was their last final hoorah, and they choked it. But yeah, this is their last game, and it sucks that it had to go down like this. But the fact Like I said, Curry, Thompson, and Green, all their for all the team, or actually for their total score for all three of them this game is at only 34 points out of their 94. That's saying something. And I don't want to say it's sad, but it's a little heartbreaking, honestly. Because for years we've seen Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green dominate the whole league, even without Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant still says that he shouldn't have left. So, but yeah, I think this is the last game that we'll see the big three. I think this is their um just like the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman type of thing. I think all three of them are going to go their separate ways. I think Curry's going to stay as a Golden State Warrior. I think they're going to get rid of Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. It's just going to be, I want to say bad, but I think it's time for a rebrand, not a rebrand, but a rebuild. It's going to be takes quite a few because Curry is getting a little older. Yeah, he's only 36, so it's about that time. It's about that time to rebuild. So, but yeah, this is their last game, and sucks that it had to go down with Klay Thompson going 0 for 10.
And JB, I 100% agree with you to a point. Now, Steph Curry, I think, will still be there. I think Draymond Green comes back. They're both still under contract. Steph Curry and Draymond Green are for the next season. And Draymond Green, analytics say, is still playing pretty good basketball. I mean, he's a good defensive presence. He's tough. And Steph Curry, I mean, still averaged 26.4 points a game, JB. He played 74 games. He was relatively healthy, 5.1 assists. He's still playing elite basketball. But like you said, he's getting a little older. The Warriors in a very, very stacked Western Conference, JB. They were the 10 seed, JB. They have the same record as Miami, JB, in the NBA standings.
Mm-hmm.
They were 10 games over 500, and they were the 10 seed. Houston was 500 at 41-41, didn't even make a play-in spot, JB. That West is tough, my friend.
Yep.
That West is tough. And 2 seasons ago, Golden State won a championship. This is the first time in 5 years they didn't make it past the preliminary play-in stage. So the problem is Klay Thompson, JB. He's a free agent. Klay Thompson had one of the worst seasons he's ever had. Easily. After that injury, he truly never was the same. The thing about sports, in life even, most things don't have a happy ending. You see all the happy endings in movies and stuff like that in Hollywood, but it's not like that in real life, JB. Like you said, Michael Jordan played for the Wizards. The Jordan documentary talked about the breakup between them a little bit. Pippen played for the Blazers. Rodman played for different teams. The Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade played for a different team. JB.
Which I was shocked about that, by the way.
Well, right. Aaron Rodgers. He played with Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. There aren't very many Kobe Bryant, Ben Roethlisberger type of moments in sports. There's just not. Most things in life don't have a good ending. Even Guns N' Roses broke up multiple times, JB. It's just how it is.
Yep.
Most things don't last or have good endings. You enjoy it, enjoy the ride, is what they say. Enjoy the ride because it doesn't last forever.
Nope.
And that's the situation here. Golden State is this is the Splash Brothers, Draymond, this big three is one of the best duos of all time. They're Hall of Famers, all three of them. They belong in that hall. Boom, basketball immortality. They do. But I think Klay Thompson will end up playing elsewhere. He'll probably go get his money, play for a mid-level team, maybe sign with a crap team, or possibly get a lot of money. I think that's what the case is. He's going to try to do maybe he has the championships unless he takes a reduced role and comes off the bench permanently. I don't see it. I think this might be the end. And it's sad.
Miami.
0 for 10, JB.
Miami. I honestly I see Clay Thompson taking as a bench player role. I mean, he's what? He's 34 years old. Um and with the injuries that he's had, if I was him, I would be a bench player coming off the bench, be a six man coming up, lighting, getting that spark off the bench that the team, like a team needs, like Miami. um, and just coming off, yeah, like I said, coming off the bench, sparking up with the team that they need, a team that needs a scorer, comes up and shoots big threes like Ray Allen did back in the day. I'm hitting out, you know, getting us some things out there. But yeah, I mean
Sorry, Spurs fans.
yeah, sorry. But no, it was like with everything else, um, I still I if Clay Thompson did that coming off the bench with the 3-point talent that he has, um, then yeah, I do believe if I was him, I would take the six man. No, nothing lower than a six man, and then maybe start here and there, but be a true six man coming off the bench will be a fantastic role for him. For the way that he's been playing, hasn't been himself for ever since that injury. Excuse me. But yeah, since he hasn't been playing by himself I can't get the words out of my mouth. He hasn't been himself lately on the court. So he
It's
needs
a tongue twister.
Yeah, it felt like a tongue twister, but when I said it wasn't even a tongue twister. But yeah, six man, no more. Like the Miami Heat needs one. Please, we need something.
See, I think we need a scoring star, not washed up. This isn't 2016 anymore. We do not need another washed up 3-point shooter. God dang it. We need a superstar.
But it worked for us, though.
Scoring.
It worked for us.
Yeah, because we had LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh to do everything else.
I mean, we got Jimmy Butler, Bam, Hero. And it's not the same. I'm just making. I'm trying to get that picture.
I am
trying to get that picture. You know
what that is?
I'm trying to get back in the 2016. I'm trying to get back in the 2016 era. Okay.
You just named the discount version of the LeBron era. Literally. That's like Kroger brand versus main brand. But here's the thing, JB. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not. And I say that with the most respect to Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero. Mainly Jimmy and Bam. Bam's on pace to be a Hall of Fame player. He's still too young. He hasn't been in the league long enough. Longevity. Jimmy Butler, though, sorry, hit the screen here. My God, I'm shaking everything. Tongue twister, tornadoes hitting Chandler's house. But Jimmy Butler's a Hall of Fame player. They have both made the post LeBron, Dwayne Wade era successful. 2 finals appearances, playoffs every year since Jimmy's been there. And I'm not saying they're not great, but LeBron's an all-time great. Dwayne Wade. They've hoisted 2 actual trophies. Until Jimmy and them host an actual Larry O'Brien trophy, and not just the Eastern Conference Championship trophy, you can't put them in that same class. I do see what you're saying. I do it. Yeah. And me and you were getting that's the best part about casual talk. We're talking about the Miami Heat doing a Warriors discussion. They need a superstar as our problem, a scoring superstar.
But
that's the difference.
LeBron ain't Klay Thompson a scoring superstar though?
Not like LeBron and D Wade. LeBron, D Wade can score on anywhere on the court. Clay can shoot threes, and he shot
That's what we
JB.
need.
Speaking of the
I
Warriors,
just think that's what we need. We need
he shot.
someone to shoot the threes, the three ball. That's all we want. That's
Shot
all we need. Just
yeah,
like Ray Allen.
yeah. He shot 38% from three this year, JB.
Still better than what we have.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
38%. I'm just saying he's just not what he was. He's just not what he was.
exactly. That's why I say coming off the bench, being a six man, maybe starting once or twice, maybe a handful of times if we need him. Just coming off the bench, shooting threes. He's a clutch player. He is a clutch shooter when he wants to.
He always has been.
Like
But
we
he's
all
just,
said, he's not the same like it was ever since that injury. That's why I
right.
think he should just be a six man, because the longevity play time that he has been playing on, he's been awful. If you lower down that time, and he's more he gets more, I want to say more reps, but more reps, shorter time. He's fine. To me, I think he will be fine. It's just we need that. I want to say that spark. We do need that spark. But if he's on, just say he's on the Heat, right? We'll say we signed him next year, and he's on the Heat, and he's a six man, right? And we're down 7 points, and like in the second quarter or something, he comes off the bench, and he shoots, like he goes 4 for 4 at three. I mean, that's what we need. We need some, and he's okay at defense. He's okay. He's not one of the greatest, but that's why he's a six man and he's our scorer. He'll be the scorer. So think about it. I'm trying to see.
I mean, he's averaging the lowest points he's ever had in a game since 2013 for a season. JB, he's shooting 38% from three. It's just not what it was. It's just not what it was. I think Miami needs something more along the lines of Paul George, who's going to be available, especially if the Clippers fail in the playoffs. How much more of that he's going to want to deal with around James Harden, the Clippers' dysfunction. I mean, they're a playoff team, but the snake bitten. They've been a good playoff team for over 10 years now, but then they can't get done in the playoffs.
We get Paul George and
Paul
Klay
George.
Thompson.
Paul George makes more sense to me. We'll get into that though.
We get them both
later, Dave. But
screw it. Ryan, I could make them sign their contract right now. Let's go.
JB's playing with Monopoly money over there, my friend. Dang it. Yeah, and only in a perfect world. However, but like I said, JB, most things in the world just don't have a happy ending. And Ben Roethlisberger walking out of the tunnel with his family, that was an awesome sports
I cried
moment.
that day.
It really was.
I cried that day.
Awesome sports moment. Kobe Bryant walking off the court with a mic drop. That's a great sports moment. You just don't have a lot of them in sports.
Nope.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, all these other sports icons, Emmitt Smith for the Cardinals. They all play for different teams. Most of them do. Jordan did. So you just don't see a lot of happiness like that in sports. I think Klay Thompson, this might be the end of the big three, JB.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, like you said. It's sad. But I mean, they were in the play-in. They were a winning basketball team this year. They won 46 games. So it wasn't like it was the worst ending we've ever seen. If this is the end, I mean, he could come back on a reduced role. He came off the bench this season, earlier in the season, so he might do that for a hometown. Right, so he might do that for a hometown price. Keep the band together. That might be the case. I think there's a real possibility that he plays elsewhere. That's all I'm saying. There's a very good chance, I'd say.
Yeah. And I do agree with that.
JB, I like this casual talk segment we do, my friend. We got all over the place. Talk about Miami Heat, talk about Paul George, talk about the Clippers, Talk
I'm
about
just
Kobe
saying.
Bryant mic drop.
Just
Ta-
saying.
We we're bringing Emmett Smith playing for the Cardinals was brought up in a Golden State Warriors topic. So you know what, JB? Good casual talk, my friend. Always good to do those with you.
It's always a pleasure.
But me and JB have not been on the same page today. Me and JB are reading different books. We disagree a lot today. So, JB, let's see if that continues. Me and JB now are going to move on to NBA play-in predictions for tomorrow night.
Do,
And
do, do,
JB,
do.
the Miami Heat. We will start there, my friend. We'll get that over with. Miami Heat will host the Chicago Bulls in a preliminary playoff game to get to be the 8 seed. Winner of this game gets to play Boston. Boston will have home court advantage. JB, what's your thoughts? Who wins, my friend? Who you got? The Bulls or the Heat? The time has come.
It has come, and I am terribly sorry, but with everything that has happened, that went out. Um, I just don't see the Heat winning without Jimmy Butler, without Terry Rozier. Um, it's it's just not. We're just not there anymore. Because we had a losing record without Jimmy Butler. When he was injured in the season, we had a losing record, and he's not here for the play-in or for the last play-in to actually get into actual playoffs.
He's missed. He's missed 22 games this year, JB. Miami's 13-9 in those games. He's missed this season. So that's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah. I just feel like every time if Jimmy Butler's not playing, I just feel like we lose every time. But I'm looking I'm looking at the season average per game for the Bulls and the Heat. Bulls has been averaging 131 points in the season. We've averaged 104. Tied in our rebounds. They have +4 assists. Steals, we got over 6 over them, 6 over 12. Blocks. Now this is where
Are you comparing the play-in games that have already come for Miami compared to Chicago?
season average.
Season average, okay.
Yep, season average. Blocks. This is where I have very disappointed in Miami. We're averaging 4 blocks in the season per game in the season. 4. We should have a lot more than that. And we only have 4. Average. Come on now. And the Bulls have 8. Yeah. Turnovers. This is where we also lack on. We are averaging 13 turnovers. Season average, 13. And they only have 7. Field goals, 56.8%. We have 42.2. 3-point, 42.3% to our 35.9. And free throws, thought we would win that. You know, we're a pretty good free throw shooter team. Nope. 73.3% for the Miami Heat. 80% for three in the free throws. Now, points in the paint is where we should strive on, right? Because we got Bam Adebayo. I feel like he's one of the best big man in the league.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yes.
46 points. Points in the paint. To Chicago's 72. Second chance points. This is where we actually strive on. Second chance points. We have 20 points to Chicago's 11. Fast breaks. This is where we're lacking on. Chicago has 19. Miami has 13. So, and our best scorer right now is Tyler Hero with averaging 29 or 25 points. And Kobe White, 42. And everything else is tied on rebounds, tied on assists, and Andre Drummond has one over on blocks over Bam Adebayo. But the points, my friend, the points is where we are lacking. And I mean lacking. Clearly. Our average sucks. So, without Bam, like I said, who's going to guard Kobe White? It's not going to be, I'm pretty sure, I hope to God it's not Tyler Hero. I'm sorry, but Tyler Hero is not a defensive all-around player. Honestly,
No.
I don't even know who's going to guard him. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Tyler Hero.
I think so. Yes.
And now, looking at DeMar DeRozan. Who's going to guard DeMar DeRozan?
Jovic or yeah, you're looking at Caleb Martin in my opinion. Yeah.
And then Alex Caruso. He's probably going to play. Who's going to guard him? Because Caleb Martin was our shooting guard that game against the 76ers. Tyler here was our point guard. So who's going to be our guard? Or who's going to be our second guard? I mean, it's we're just not adding up here against the Bulls right now. So this is why I say that the Bulls are going to dominate the Miami Heat. If they have the exact same mentality as when they played against the Hawks, it's game over. It is literally game over. Because honestly, we can't shoot. We can't shoot out of the bright side of a barn. We can't. We literally can't. And look at look at the Chicago Bulls this season. Clearly, 42.3 at 3-point this season. And 56.8% on the field. You're telling me we still have a chance to win. I love the Heat. I do really love the Heat. And I love Eric Spoelstra. I love his coach. One of the best coaches of the year by far. Going in the Hall of Fame. One of the best coaches the Miami Heat has ever had.
Oh yeah, easily, yes.
Easily.
He is the best coach in the NBA now. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
He can take the crappiest team and could actually put them in the playoffs. I truly agree with that. Truly agree. But for this game, I just do not see us winning.
Too many injuries?
Too many injuries. One of our scoring people that we signed, Terry Rozier, he's injured. No shocker there, right? We get a score, he's injured. Jimmy Butler's injured. Josh Richardson, injured. and we had so many people that did not even play. Why did Patty Mills didn't play? Why did Thomas Bryant, Duncan Robinson, out of all people, why did he not play? I mean,
You know, JB, we are not on the same page at all today because JB's calling for the Heat to get blown out, get dominated. And I hear you, JB. I don't know why Duncan Robinson didn't play. I trust Eric Spoelstra's judgment 100%. He's a multi-time NBA champion. He has led us to the finals two times now since 2020, and we weren't supposed to go either time. He's an all-time great coach, but I think he has something planned for this Bulls game, JB. I
and like I said, I'm not bashing I'm not bashing the Heat.
I know.
Oh, excuse me.
Whew.
But yeah, I'm not bashing them. It's
Oh, I know.
just the way that the Bulls are playing right now, and the way that
You're
we're
not
playing
wrong.
right now. I just cannot say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna do this, this, this." No, it's like, did you see how
You
they
know,
played against Atlanta?
I I,
And to
I
me,
did. I
and to
watched
me,
up until the start of the fourth quarter.
it's just, I just do not see us winning against the Bulls this year.
Okay. You know, I I hear everything you said, and everything you said absolutely has a very validation. I don't think you're being too hard on Miami because if Miami deserves to be bashed, I'll bash them. Like when Jimmy Butler was making comments about just get me there, and I was like, we got to get there first. Well, now here we are. Karma's something, isn't it? You don't want to know why karma's something, JB? Here's something I've reflected on. Last season, Tyler Hero was injured, and he missed all the playoffs virtually.
Mm-hmm.
We've had injuries many times in the playoffs, big time injuries. This is the biggest one ever. I would say playoff Jimmy, our best player, Hall of Fame player, left to the finals 2 times since 2020. Playoffs every year he's been there, playing this year. I hear you, JB. I hear you. But karma is something because karma's a bitch. That's my one curse word I'm allowed on the podcast. Karma's a bitch because it's the opposite of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Hero was hurt. Now it's Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier, and Tyler Hero is now left to save the day. Him and
Is he
Bam
going to
are
be the
left.
hero? Is he going to be the hero for the Miami Heat? I mean, with the performance that he had against Philadelphia, I mean,
You know what it is? The basketball gods seen that and went, "Oh, Miami made the finals. Miami had a nice Cinderella run last year. Miami's been great with Jimmy Butler, 2 finals appearances. Anyone who says we're a fluke just hasn't been watching basketball. We're 46 and 36 this year. Also, we're still in the preliminary playoffs, so I don't want to hear it from haters. But I hear you, everything you've said. But we still got we still got Bam, excuse me, and Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is still averaging 20 points for the season, JB. This is a opportunity for Tyler Hero to really plant himself in Miami. This is the biggest moment of his career. Not so much Bam, in my opinion. Bam's carried us many times, but he needs to do better. We need Bam and Tyler Hero to truly save us. Because I'm looking, we could play Wright, Highsmith, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Patty Mills, but is that going to defeat a Bulls team, like you said, playing outstanding basketball with White averaging and getting 40 points and DeRozan out there with extra motivation playing for his kids? I, I hear you, but I truly think Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo are going to be enough and truly show up for us when we need it most.
I sure
We're
hope
going to
so.
win a close game here. I think it'll be under 10 points. We'll win by between, I don't know, 1 and 10. I think it'll be that type of game. I think Miami beat Chicago here, but I'm not an idiot. The winner plays Boston, JB. Jimmy Butler's out. We got to rethink our title hopes. I'm hoping just to get past the play-in at this point. That would be a win for me. But I think Tyler Hero really has a chance, and Bam does too. I think they'll show up, especially Bam. I think we'll see a much better performance, and we're going to beat Chicago. Chicago had a losing record this season. We did not. We're 13-9 without Butler this season. We've had injuries all season long, JB. Jimmy's been out a little bit. Tyler Hero's been out a little bit. We've had some injuries all year long, and we're still here. We're still in the preliminary playoffs playing. We have an opportunity here, and I think we're going to get it done. Tyler Hero and Bam are going to get it done for us. At least enough to get past the play-in.
Sure hope so. Because, with Bam averaging a double-double this season with 19 points, 10 rebounds, I just feel like 19 points is not going to cut it. And with Tyler Hero averaging 20 points, I feel like that barely makes it. Barely.
Me and you are on record on this podcast kind of hoping Tyler Hero would take that next step and become a star. I just don't think it's what he is, JB. I think he's probably the third best player on the team. He's a good player. I'm not denying it, but I don't think he's a next level type of player. Why I mentioned Paul George earlier. I don't think Jimmy's getting a little older. He's injured right now. Bam's a great center. He's not a scoring presence. We need a scoring star, JB. That's
Yep.
what we're missing right now. And we're missing playoff Jimmy. That's the big thing right there. I truly think Heat culture, the Heat mentality. I think Eric Spoelstra's coaching is going to be enough to get past Chicago, but past Boston, nah. I do think it's enough to get past Chicago without Jimmy.
Like I said, I'm not bashing them, but when I see talent and I see how they played, it's.
I get it, but Miami's been there before, JB.
Oh, I know.
Two finals appearances with Bam. We've made the finals with Tyler Hero back when he was healthy in 2020. So they've been there before. I think that says something. Chicago hasn't. I think experience wins here.
I agree.
Me and JB been opposite all day. Opposite on Miami right now. Let's see if we're opposite on our last prediction, JB, of the night. JB, the Sacramento Kings, JB, played the New Orleans Pelicans without Zion Williamson, who's been ruled out for the play-in game. JB, who do you think is going to be the number 8 seed, JB, and have the honor of playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in round 1?
With Zion being out, I do believe that the Pelicans just does not have a shot anymore. They don't.
Excuse me, Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the 1 seed, excuse me. The West was so tight at the end. It'd be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I had a realization. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. But no, without Zion, Pelicans are out. I do believe the Kings are going to come out on top because Sabonis, he was playing fantastic in Indiana. I was surprised that the Indiana let him go for whatever reason. Don't know. But it kind of worked out for him in the end. But yeah, with him being up front and King and Murray came up big that game against the Golden State Warriors. I think he had 32 points, I do believe. Yeah, 32 points. But yeah, and De'Aaron Fox with 24 points that game. It's just I feel like the Kings are just the whole lot better team, in my opinion. So
And they're doing all this without Malik Monk, who's averaged about 15 points a game for the year.
Yeah. So I do believe this is the time where the Kings actually show their full potential, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page as you, JB. Had Zion been playing, I think I would pick New Orleans. And Zion, I'm not going to hate on him. He showed up, he had 40 and had a double-double with 11 rebounds. So he had an outstanding performance against the Lakers. That's what I wanted to see. But his injury history, he's just injury prone. It's what it is.
yeah,
And Sacramento, they're an outstanding team, JB. Like I said, it's good to see kind of some parity in the NBA, JB. I mean, you don't really have a dominant team anymore. You know what I mean? One dominant team kind of rampaging the league like you did in the past with
yep,
Miami teams, dynasties all over the place, Golden State. You don't only have that right now. And you have a loaded West where 11 teams were 500 and better. And the Kings are kind of reaping that benefit. They have De'Aaron Fox right now. Harrison Barnes right now had an outstanding game. He had 17 points. Sabonis, like you said, Ellis had 15 points. Murray 32. Kings are playing outstanding basketball, and CJ McCollum had under 10 points for the Pelicans. Just not enough from the Pelican supporting cast outside of Zion. I'm not picking the Pelicans here. Too much injuries, too many question marks. Sacramento made the playoffs last year. They're going to make it this year too. Give me the Kings, JB.
yep.
And that's kind of cool. That'll be their second playoff appearance since 2006, the last 2 years. Before that, they
Hmm.
hadn't made it since 06. So I like to see it. You don't see a lot of Kings fans out there. They're kind of a smaller market. They don't get a lot of news coverage. It's
Nope.
good to see. I'm rooting for them. I think they'll win.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they will win because with all that talent and without Zion for the Pelicans, it's kind of hard to win against a person um that has that type of a caliber, and he's not there. So,
'Cause, I mean, it wasn't that long ago the Kings were talking about relocating. JB, remember?
hmm,
They were talking
yep,
about kind of relocating, and at one point the announcers were crying for the Kings because on TV they thought it was the last game.
yep,
You see those videos on the internet. So to see them kind of become relevant again, it's just nice. It's nice. It's nice to see some different stuff, not just the same old, same old.
yeah, and I agree. So,
And JB, my friend, that's all we have for today's unbiased hard take. JB, we talked about all NBA today. What we got for our friends? College basketball's ended. We're all NBA right now. The dark times keep getting a little closer, my friend. But NBA playoffs are here, my friend. What do you got for the people?
just I hope that the Heat win. Spoelstra has something underneath his sleeve to keep us in the playoffs, and hopefully that we don't choke this one. Um, and then that's pretty much it. Just like, comment, subscribe. Comment on the video helps the algorithm, if you know what I mean. But yeah, just and like us on Facebook. Like I said, there's plenty of things, future things happening. For example, these T-shirts. They, with everything else, who knows? We might. It's slowly coming up, slowly coming. But yeah, that is all I have.
You know, JB, I'm gonna give a sports take, then I'll end on some happiness. JB, sports take I have is Jimmy Butler. It's not looking good again. I do think we're in the same position we were last year. To get the Bulls to be the 8th seed, I think we're going to get in. I have enough respect for Spoelstra's coaching. Bam, Tyler Hero. I think we're going to be able to get it done. We're a team. We've proven that forever. We're a team basketball. That's how we made the finals last year. Team basketball. And that's how we're going to get in the playoffs. But past that, looking a little bleak. But a little more optimistic than my friend across the table from me here. But college basketball has ended. NFL draft's coming up in the next
1 week.
Yeah, a very week. Why did I
1
say
week.
1 week? So me and JB, the next coming episode or two, depending on where our podcasts land, we'll be talking about that. NBA playoffs are here, obviously. So we're going to be a lot of NBA right now, my friend. Well, with that, JB, one thing I want to talk about, the kind of the happiness I was talking about, the little soft part of me, softness, is JB, we've come a long way on this podcast. From literally, I had a TV tray with a coloring book holding my laptop up, to better equipment, actual setup, t-shirts, higher quality equipment, higher quality camera. We've come a long way, my friend, from where we initially were.
Yes, sir.
We've had some videos hit over 100, 600, 700. We had a last podcast, JB, had over 100 likes on our mock draft special. Had over 100 views, on our mock draft specials. We've come a long way to go. Humble beginnings still, but I like to see it's the small things, the small steps I like to watch. And it's been a good ride with you, my friend. And many more to come, many more years, decades to come on this channel. We are going nowhere.
Yes, sir.
With that, if you're interested in some shirts, decal stickers, we're getting some stuff done on this podcast. More stuff to come. I'm looking at some stuff on our Facebook. JB's getting involved in that a little more too. What do you think of the Jets uniforms? Get on there. Let him know. We're getting involved.
Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
So with that, again, more things to come on the Facebook side. Keep an eye on that. I have some ideas on that. That's all I got. Until next week, as always, go Pack, go. Oiler up, but most importantly, this time of year, play in playoff time. Let's go Heat, baby. Let's get that win against Chicago, a team win. Let's prove some people wrong. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get that 8 seed and let's get to Boston.
And I'm just gonna end it off with let's go Purdue. Sad to see that we had to end on that road. Let's go Steelers. It's a big year. It's gonna be our year. And like Chandler said, this is the year that we need it the most. Let's go Heat. And until next week, see ya.
See you all next week.